Hello viewers, welcome back to the Talking Shop. We're back in the shop today. Back on the Yard Genie, or Lawn Genie. A couple things since the last video we did. We got some adjustments to make, so get your shop clothes on, meet me out in the shop, we're gonna get to it. Okay, so yeah, we're back in the shop. We're back on the Lawn Genie, Lawn Genie. So a couple things. I went online and I printed the instruction manual. I found a PDF copy online. I printed off the instruction manual. I was reading through it. Now this is after last week's video. I did this, and what I found was I didn't have my 3-point hitch set quite right. I basically had my top link too short. So what I was doing was I was putting too much weight on these tires and not enough weight on the roller on the back. So I went ahead and adjusted it like it was supposed to be, like the book said. And when I did that, I found that I had about 1.5 inches cut height, which is a little low for me. When I mow my yard normally in the summertime with the zero turn, I cut at 3 inches. So now you're going to want to be a little lower because we're picking up leaves, but I think 1.5 inches is too low. So there's an adjustment on that back roller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolts out, I'm going to move the roller down 1 notch, give us a little taller height. And of course when I do that, I'm going to have to reset my top link again to get the weight quite right, or the way it's tipped, get that quite right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I got the clips for our guard here. We'll take care of that. We'll get this guard put back on. We're going to take this guard off. I got lots of clips, so if we end up twisting bolts off, that's okay. We're going to take this guard off. We're going to assess the U-joint that's here, grease it if we have to, whatever's got to be done there. We'll probably drill a hole in this guard so we can access that U-joint when the guard is back on. Why they didn't do that in the first place, I have no idea. It's dumb, but we're going to do it. We're going to make it so we can access it and grease it. The fact that that U-joint is under that guard, it may very well be shot, because Lord only knows how long it's been and how long it's ran without grease. That could be a source of the vibration we're feeling too. So we're going to assess that. If we have to, we'll pull that U-joint out. I'll get a U-joint for it. Back over here on the other side, I did get a piece of 3/8 flat bar for here. We'll go ahead and take these bolts out that hold our wheel on. We will cut this bent piece out. I think I can lay my porta-band right here. And then we'll have to maybe take the plasma cutter and blow that out there. And then this piece will come off. We'll drill the holes in it. We'll use it as a template. And we will bolt it back on. Hopefully that'll straighten this wheel out so it's not heading off kilter. If not, we may have to add some shims behind it or whatever to bring this back so it's not tipped out so far. I was in touch with Matthew's company. They do still make the knives for it. They're $3.75 a piece. There's 172 of them on that drum. Do the math, it's about 600 bucks. Not opposed to it. I would put that into it, but before we do that, we're going to get everything readjusted and set properly. We'll try it again. If it's still leaving that little strip in the center after everything has all been readjusted, well then we'll talk about putting knives in it. But I want to exhaust all other options before we do that. So I guess first step this morning, we're going to go ahead and drop that roller. So I'll get some wrenches and we'll get set up and we'll get her coming down. All right. I got my floor jack position. Because once we take these bolts out, this roller is going to want to fall. So I got my floor jack positioned under the roller. And then let's turn it on the back side. I'm going to get a tapered bar. I got a spacer in there. We want to be, yeah, see, that's just another nut. We want to be right there. All right, let's go over to do the same thing on the other side. If you guys can see me here. Oh, this. We're not going to take them all the way out. just so it can't fall. We're going to have to let that jack down some. All right, before we get it tightened up, we're going to back over and set the other side. Okay, guys, we got so the roller was in these two holes. We dropped it down to those two, same on the other side. That bearing right there has been replaced. It's a sealed bearing now, so no grease fitting. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put the 3-point down. Whoops, we're going to take the jack out first. Alright, so now we're going to have to start tractor. Forgot about the jack. Pull the jack out. That actually seems to be set about right, because we might have to shorten it just a smidge. We're going to have to try it, because according to the book, when it's set down on the roller, which it is, totally riding on the roller, you want just enough pressure on these tires to keep them from shimmying when you're pulling it. So that's pretty close right there. I can still move them, so there's not a whole lot of pressure on them, so you may have to shorten them just a little bit. But that doesn't look bad right there. I'm going to let that adjustment roll for now, and we'll see when we try it again. We'll see if how it carries it. All right, I'm going to start the tractor and pick it back up, and I guess next we'll take a look at that, getting that other guard off there and seeing what we can do there. That's going to be a challenge, because we've got some bolts that are hiding in behind there, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to get to them yet. All right. Now it's turning. So these two are going to have to be cut, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So that one started, but now the nut's turning. All right, so we're gonna have to get into some cutting, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, I might have a... So this is just a Blackhawk self-ratcheting wrench. We're going to notch this when we get this guard off, those ones on the back side. We're going to notch it so we can just start the bolts, slide the guard down, and then tighten the bolts. Because this is ridiculous. I can actually see those. It may be beneficial. I may get the torch out and reach up in there and blow those off with the torch, or at least heat them up. Make our life a little easier. That one there is not so easy to get to because of this piece. All right, so we're gonna do some battling, and we'll be back as soon as we get her off. Best course of action is I can get to them, well, I can blow that one off. Really not that bad. Not bad. Kind of looks like I welded that there. I got a piece of flat bar.
I walk right over to the metal dumpster. I keep a brand new Victor in my locker. Order up another one, put it back in the locker. Same with regulators. You take them, they go right in the garbage. Here's a brand new Victor set. I got one torch and one regulator set for the plant.
I was gonna, yeah.
Oh. Reload it then?
No. I wasn't gonna take the tire out.
Well, that's different. If you're not gonna Where did you get that brass rod that's that punch? Was that Dad's? One you were using on the...
No, I bought those.
So I just wonder, where would you buy something like that?
Mac. Tool trucks have them.
Oh, really? I didn't know whether you went somewhere and just got a piece of brass round stock or...
No, you could probably do that too, but yeah, you can buy they call it a drift.
Drift?
Sorry, both back on. Yeah.
Did you get that from her?
I got that from our tool supplier. It came as a kit. I think that hose come with it. Hold me light.
This way, I think.
Got that one bolt that's holding me. So what we're going to do,
Have you rotated the tires in your Blazer?
I changed them. I got 4 new ones.
Right, but did you ever rotate them?
No.
So when you put new ones on, did the tire sensor light come on?
No.
So if I was to rotate mine, would the tire sensor light come on?
No, but then the tires are going to be off. If you ever go low, it might say left front, could be right rear then.
So how do you fix that?
You have to have them, whoever does your,
You gotta take it to the dealer?
no, whoever does your tires should be able to.
No, because well, the tires I got on there are pretty new. I just wanted to rotate. But fuck it. Oh hell, that U-joint looks pretty damn good. Dryer and a popcorn fart. Yeah. Sealed?
No.
Pretty good shape, yeah?
No.
No? Oh, yeah. You have to probably take this off, slide the shaft out. Is that how it works? Just got a key in it.
Yeah, but I take the gearbox and slide it that way too.
Is what?
You take the gearbox off.
Well, it's just a little pillar block.
Yeah. Yep, that needs to be replaced. Could, take all these set screws out and see if it would drive, yeah, see if the yoke would slide on the shaft.
I'm gonna say no, but I've been wrong before.
Probably not. Because all you, well, we could try and, you might take that U-joint apart and then slide the yoke.
Well, that's what, yeah. Can you get it apart like that?
Because how does this bracket? Yeah, see, that's welded. So, but you'd have to be able to, I think you could access those now. I thought
It'd be easier just to take the shaft off this way.
I don't know what you're getting into here. Well, is, because you got this pillow block won't pass through here.
No, but won't the shaft just slide?
No, I think it's locked. I think that's
Yeah,
what this
okay.
is. But I think if you took that set screw out, if you took the belt, you wouldn't even have to take the shiv off the shaft.
Just take the pulley off, or the belt off.
Just take the belt off, and then,
Slide the whole thing, and
Yeah.
loosen that screw, and just slide it this way.
Yep.
The only thing is that, is it gonna screw up your alignment?
I don't think so.
I don't know how you would ever mark it. Well, no, it can't go in you. When you put it back on,
Yeah.
as long as you don't mess with these here.
Well, this has to, because this yoke won't pass through this pillow block.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to take it all the way off, would you? Could you just put it on right there?
I'm trying.
Or maybe it will come off the gearbox. Well, still, you can't gonna get it through.
So we've got a bad U-joint. So we're gonna have to take that apart. We're gonna have to change that out. Hand me the air hose. There's all kinds of set screws in this damn thing.
That's fucking tight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I have to take it over to the damn place now.
Yeah, it'll fly out of there, you'll never find it.
I didn't buy set screws.
You there just.
No, there's no set screw there.
It's a pin. According to that, it was a pin. You gotta drive that out.
Oh, it's a roll pin?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's even worse.
Want a punch or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get my punches.
Because I just remember looking at that book, it showed him driving something out. Iron's probably over the deer blind, all the heck about him. And maybe just waiting for Johnny Travers to shoot a deer so he can get some venison. Need the next one? Or?
I don't know. It's gonna take the next one, but let's try it. He's driving it in. I don't know if I've got the next one. Need the next one yet. Get her started. You only got to get one of them out.
That was the bearing collar down, I guess I was looking at, but.
No, but I think you're right. I think it is a pin. I think you're right. I think it is a pin.
It is a roll pin.
I do believe you're right. Yeah, I think it is.
Heat?
Yeah, might have to.
Because that will go all the way through the shaft, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that with a key?
Evidently, they don't want that
Spinning?
spinning on the shaft. But it's really irrelevant because if it gets that far, that roll pin ain't gonna drive that little shit.
Oh, I'll snap that right off.
I don't know if we got enough gas left for this little operation.
Cause you want your little propane torch?
Yeah, I don't think you'd get her hot enough. See, did I put my torch glasses back? See if my torch glasses, I put them back in. Yeah, well, I was tidying up. Just have to put it in your trunk, bro.
Yeah. I don't want that in my pocket, hoping I'll want it.
That's what you put it in your trunk. Oh wait, you ain't got a trunk.
I got it from.
Just about out of. Hot.
Yeah.
See how the flames getting real white?
Oxygen's pretty cheap.
Yeah, let's see if I
Just settle in that.
I'll take the tank off. Pick up a can this week. See how it's sooty?
Yeah. She even bludgeon?
If I could hit it, it would help. Of course, if I was using the actual.
There she goes. You have your rope in, Punch?
Yeah. Now that it's started. I lay more shit down.
Oh, I know. I'm the same way. Shit on my desk.
I don't know where I leave it. Okay, so let's go down to a 5/16 bolt. Oh, there it is. Found it. I don't know if that's much better. Give me the, up above my toolbox, one of them says water. There's wet sanding on it, I think. Get in there. Now, let's take this,
Well, she's warm.
and we'll combine that with this, and just see if that's your lever. So you take a little more out of it right there.
Pretty good with the torch, though.
What's that?
Said you're pretty good with the torch.
Yeah, when she's up there good. Uncle Dean's about the best with the torch.
Did they have any classes on that when you went to college?
No. Uncle Dean's can show you what stuff right there. I'm good with torch.
He's pretty decent welder, too.
Yeah. He can really braze too. And I'm always a fan of, I would rather come back and slice at it 3 times than, because then if you cut the yolk, then you line in the yolk.
And there she is, bro.
That little brick is hot.
Yes, right on. Oh, she's coming, she's sliding down. What, cap come off or no?
Well,
Huh?
But that's where I was going next.
Let them channel locks?
Yeah, did we put those away? Yeah, they're up on the bench.
I hollered at them, they jumped right back up there.
All right, boys.
I'm surprised you didn't have newspaper laying down there.
Hold it. Hold it. You get grease on the floor. All right, guys, we're back in the shop. Not gonna lie, it's been a week. Didn't get a. I'm gonna explain to you where we're at on the Lawn Genie. We didn't get a lot of decent footage last week. I realized that I kind of had the camera set up, and the footage I was getting, you got most of my back basically. So here's where we're at. We got the guard off. You can see right here the little clips, and I ended up blowing them off with the torch. It was just, it was turning into a disaster. It was taking time. I just reached up in there with the torch, blew them off. I got all new clips, and I got lots of bolts, so no problem there. The shaft, we got the yoke off. The U-joint had a little bit of play. Was it horrible? No. I've changed out U-joints that were a lot worse. But we were there. I had the guard off, so I just picked up a U-joint. That's where we're going to start today. I got this yoke over on the bench. I had to take the gears out, or the bolts out of the gearbox. We slid the gearbox out of the way. I'll have to clean up that yoke with the cartridge roll. We got to clean up the shaft. I got to finish getting the U-joint out, and then we're going to run the yoke through the blast cabinet. We'll get that cleaned up and put back on, and we'll get this all put back together here. We'll get the belt put back on. We'll get this guard put back on, and then we're going to attack that wheel. So first things first, we got to get the U-joint cut out of the other yoke. All right, that is what you would call hot. All right, so now we're gonna cool this off. I'm gonna run it through the blast cabinet and we'll clean out these holes and we'll get the U-joint fitting nice and we'll get it cleaned up so it'll go back on the shaft. let that warm up and we'll get her back on the shaft. All right, now we'll let that cool off. We'll get the U-joint in, and then we'll get the yoke on the gearbox cleaned up, and we'll get that swung back into position. We'll get this thing back together.
There she goes. So we just got to get that one. That one's done. That one's done. It's that one right there. There she goes. All right. All right, let's get the bolts back in. We'll get this thing back together. Okay guys, we're all back together. I did move this wheel down. I don't know if you can tell, we're down one hole now. Because remember, we moved the roller down. So if you move the roller down, you got to move the wheels down according to the instruction book. So we'll have to reset our top link, but we'll do that when we get done. But we're all back together here. Got the grease fitting in, got everything greased up, got all the bolts on the gearbox tight. I'm going to put the guard in, but I wanted to show you guys. So this piece here, this isn't mounted to anything. This just adds rigidity to that guard. Actually, the only thing holding that guard on are these two here and these two here. I got to take them two gearbox bolts back out because that's where that guard goes. But that's actually the only thing that holds that on. All this is doing is giving it some strength. One thing we are going to do is we're going to mark so we know about where our center line shaft is. The grease fitting for this yoke is just this side of this piece. So when we get that guard all in, we're going to come in here and we're going to drill a hole about 1 inch so we can get at that greaser, because we can grease it without taking this guard off all the time. But yeah, so that's what's next. I'm going to fight that guard in here and put some new clips on. We'll get her bolted back down. know if you can see that, guys, but I can see my grease fitting right there. Okay, there we go. That project's done. Now we're going to move underneath. If you remember, we had a grease fitting missing underneath on the roller that rides on the ground. I got an assortment, so we're going to go ahead and replace that. Yes, you just saw me put that in with the hammer. Those are a drive-in grease fitting. Yes, they are a thing. All right, guys, we're going over to the wheel. I have to just flat out cut that one. All right, we're not gonna fight it. Okay, so it's got a jam nut in here, and we're gonna have to cut it because the nut is messed up. I'm not gonna fight with it, so I'm just gonna blow it out of there. You know what? Sparks will be coming your way. Now I gotta blow through this weld right here. Okay, so you can see how that's all twisted, and so I'm gonna take my portable bandsaw and I'm gonna nip it right there, and then I'll probably have to come back in with the torch and come down here where it's welded on the bottom side We'll get this twisted up piece out of there. We'll transfer them holes over, and I've got a piece of 3/8 by 3 flat bar sitting on the bench. We're just going to make a new piece. Just about out of shielding gas, so hopefully we can finish up here. Get in there better. I'll clean up the wheel, we'll put her back on. Alright guys, we're back on. I cleaned it up with a grinder. Wasn't much to do. I'm going to sprinkle some paint on it. It's not 100% perfect, but it looks much better than what it did. So we're going to go ahead and roll with that. Yeah, I'm going to paint her up and pull the tractor out. And not many leaves in my yard now, but we'll make a pass or two with it just to try it out.